Yo, dog, Candy Boucher here, next level painting, hitting you up on the literal best of all days. Coming to you from the Beats Lab in Hollywood, California. We are here doing it again with a Primaris Space Wolf Captain from the Tooth and Claw box set. We've never done green lightning before. We have done a few lightning videos in the past, but it's time to update them with some green effects. Next thing you're gonna notice is this dude is basically done. He is looking his best. Catch us live on Twitch. We did volume 1 and 2. And the VODs over there. If you missed out on Twitch, you can always catch them on Patreon. Also, Battle Ready Bases, Gamers Grass, one of our sponsors. These bases are brand new, and simply, all I can say is they are, as advertised, that fresh. All right, Necrotite Green up on deck. This is a staple of the next level painting arsenal. Hobo Shield engaged, advanced technology. What we're going to do is load the airbrush up with a small amount of this Necrotite Green, thin it down, and we're going to just sort of blast on a couple of energy patterns. We're not really trying to create the lightning effect with the airbrush. Where it's taking this bright color over a dark color like black, bursting it on, and it's going to create kind of a glow effect. The lightning is going to be 100% dependent on our paintbrush skills. And as you can see, it's already glowing. It's looking pretty good. It's random. It's not very, uniform. Same thing underneath the axe. You can be a little bit lazy here because no one's really going to see this because it's underneath the model. All right, there it is. Some pillowy, random energy, kind of blotchy, kind of not good looking, right? Well, here it is. Flash gets yellow. This is the effect you've been waiting for. We're going to load it up on our paintbrush. Use the point of our brush. Tremendously light pressure. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Like I tell people all the time, light brush pressure. However light you're going, back it off another notch. We're going to be tracing forks. You're going to drag a tendril down off to the side, and then you're going to make it fork. That's the key to lightning. We're trying to do squiggly lines, not straight lines. That's the key. As far as the mix goes, a little experimentation will be necessary. The best thing I can say is that you want the mix to be a little thin, but not too thin, but not thick. So it's almost impossible because I'm almost constantly adjusting the ratio as I'm going. So just experiment. Get these forks looking their best. Reduce the pressure. Use the point of your brush. These are the best tips I can give you for doing this type of effect. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. Let's just do a couple spot inspections. Make sure all your lines are connected. You can be a little fat on some of these lines. It's okay. What I'm going to do is introduce more yellow, maybe a little white, and just sort of brighten them up where the forks touch. Maybe they're paklow, sparkly, right where they're meeting, a little bit brighter than the other places. It's okay because we got this other technique that I love to do with my lightning. We're not going to let it just be like that. That's garbage. We're going to just keep highlighting them. They can get away, like I said, you be brave. They can be a little aggressive because there is something we're still going to do. We're going to fuzz this lightning out. So I really want to make sure it looks its best. It looks its most intense right now because there is this technique where you can almost apply a filter over the top of the lightning, send it back to the background, just like Photoshop, dropping your layers down. And then you can do another layer on top of it, slightly offset. So all that for this. Go back to your airbrush and just add a very subtle burst of green over top of what you just did. It's going to wash it slightly out, send it slightly to the background, create a little bit of fuzz around all those lightning bolts. And I'm doing this because I think there's going to need to be more lightning. If you watch lightning going crazy, someone's in the background, someone's in the foreground. So now we're going to do even skinnier lines. Squiggly forks, starting closer to the top. They're not going to fork out down a line. It's not going to be like a path that goes two different ways. It's going to be just a big Y, right? So now that we got those extra forks in there, a little bit more aggressive, let's just edge highlight the axe right now so you can start to see how sharp this effect looks. It's got a great pattern, almost looks like the top of water. It can almost be a marble effect. This effect looks like whatever you want it to look like. If you put it on an axe, it's lightning. You put it on a stone base, it's marble. That's what I love about this. I use this almost exact effect when doing our marble tutorials with a couple of differences. Obviously, check out those tutorials if you're interested in marble. So now that we've cut in some of these edges around the axe, you can see it beginning to take shape. It looks very sharp. This is called edge highlighting. All we're doing is using the side of the brush to skirt the edge. I call it tracing because we're really not doing anything here. It's the opposite of that lightning. Because those hard edges exist, we just have to lightly drag the brush across those edges and a perfectly sharp line will appear. What I like to do is introduce a little white, progressively make it brighter, add it to this edge, maybe start focusing more on those little 90-degree angles where it might be a little sharper. Really gonna help sell the effect. This is definitely crucial for any pyro weapon effect. Whether you choose to do a basic fade or lightning, the edge highlight is going to sell the effect and make it look sharp, make it look dangerous. Edge highlighting, we've got many videos. All right, here we go, back to the lightning, a little bit more white. Let's start intensifying every little spot where the lightning forks might be overlapping, because it's definitely gonna be brighter there. It's gonna look intense. Love this effect. You can see it's actually pretty easy. It's pretty low impact once you understand the light brush pressure and the right ratio for your paintbrush. And you see we do use the tip of our brush when doing that type of detail work. Real quick, let's just grab that cold steel. We use this in the VODs from Twitch. Let's finish those doodads that connect to the blade that send the electricity. I don't know. I'm not a Power Axe 41st Millennium scientist here. Those dealies. Yeah, real quick, black. Anything's a wash. I'm gonna thin down some black real quick. There is this like glyph on the axe that I want to draw attention to, so it's very thin. I added a bunch of water to it, and just with a couple of motions with my brush, I'm gonna allow that black paint to just flow into this rune. Bring it to life. Boom. Space Wolves all day, every day. Okay, now that all that dried, let's do it one more time. Pure white on the paintbrush. Tiny strokes. This is with the absolute tip of our brush. We're not flattening it out. If you're ever making a windshield wiper motion with your paintbrush, it's gonna get away from you when trying to achieve this effect. It has to be the sharpest point of the brush all day, day. And there it is, green lightning, pyro weapon effect. Since we have that white out on our palette, let's just add a little bit more white to the sharp angles of the axe, make it look its brightest. Even one kind of in the center of the blade. That's really going to just give it a little bit of dimension, make it look its best. And there he is, Primaris Space Wolf Captain on deck, tooth and claw, brand new GW, bringing the heat. Absolutely love this model. Love the battle ready base. Gamersgrass.com came in clutch. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Big shout out to all my Patreons over on Patreon, which is my crowdfunding page. Is how I keep the lights on. Play on, players. If you like these tutorials, check out Next Level Painting on Patreon. Become a patron of the arts today. We offer early and exclusive access to our videos and a rewards program for different pledge levels. Patreon is PayPal and credit card secure, so you don't have to worry about that. We use 100% of the money to improve our process.